Okay, we're recording. Hello, welcome to our Hope on Fire training. I'm excited today to see you guys again. It's been a little while since we've done these trainings, since we've had some other team things going on. But at least for this month, it'll be fun to reconnect and kind of get back to some basics. We have some new coaches that have joined on. We are still trying to grow our businesses. Even though it's holiday season, and that's what I love. So I love seeing you guys on here. And we get to hear about how we can use Facebook, kind of the tried and true things that really help for us to be able to get the word out about our program, for us to be able to make connections with other people. This is a relationship built business, and I love that because we get to build relationships. We get to meet people, we get to talk to people, we get to love people, and help people. And so that is what it's all about. And Facebook is a good tool that we can use. So we are going to hear today first from Cheryl Riska, and then from Karen Condos, and about more about Facebook. So, Cheryl, do you want to unmute yourself and you see? Awesome.
Sure. Awesome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Facebook protocol. Let me know if you can't hear me very well. But one thing that I love is that we have so many things laid out for us in simple systems already. So that just keeps it really simple. So I'm going to share my screen real quick to show you an example. Okay, so if you check out Simple Systems, and if you're new and you don't have this yet, then talk to your coach and we can get that link to you. It's actually located in our coach Facebook page, our Optavia Coaches in Action page. But this is a great tool to use, once you've kind of got into coaching a little bit, and it just has all the steps that you need to get started and to start a new client, etc. Don't get lost in here. There's so many different things that you can look at. Really take it that step by step as your coach kind of shares with you what things to focus on, and just a little bit at a time. But right now we're going to look at right here. It says Facebook protocol. And so that's where if you click on that, then it will actually open up to here. And one thing that's really important to remember is to connect with your mentor coach, and to make sure that you're getting the best, tips for sharing on Facebook. And, we've kind of been there and we know the tried and true things that are going to help you reach more people and your business to grow. So, it starts out by talking about a Facebook grand opening. So the very first time that you're putting it out there to Facebook, to all of your friends and family that you have had success on this program, or you found something that you're excited about, and you're sharing what you're doing. And so that is an awesome thing to do to get the word out. And so then it has some great examples for us. And again, work with your mentor coach to come up with a great way to do that, to share your story, your short story, and to share some progress pictures or before and after pictures, or something that's going to kind of add interest and catch people's eye. And as one important thing to remember is any time that you post as a coach, a before and after picture, whether it be yours or another inspirational transformation story that you're sharing with other people, you'll want to make sure to add the disclaimer. And so I like that the disclaimer is there for us to see. I'll try to move that out of the way. But, just the disclaimer right here. And you don't have to highlight it as this big thing or emphasize it. It's actually pretty cool, though, the fact that on our plan, clients lost 10 times more weight than the self-directed group. That's pretty amazing. So not something you have to hide by any means, but just have it kind of there on the picture. That's required by law as coaches, so make sure to include that. And I'm not going to go too much into the grand opening post. There's some great instructions there, and again, work with your mentor to help you do that. And we also can help with, what's it called, supporting your post too. So more people will see it. The more likes and comments you get, Facebook just puts it out there for more people to see, more of your friends to see. I can't remember the percentages. I'm terrible at numbers like that, but there's just a small percentage of your friends who actually see your posts. So the more often that we post, the more likes and comments we have, the more people will actually see what we're trying to put out there. This is a great tool that can help us, just posting on Facebook in general, to build those relationships, to be, a real person. We have, like Alina said, a relationship-based business. So if you're a real person and you share about your life and you share, things of value, things of positivity, then people are going to relate to you more. They're going to feel more comfortable asking you about what you're doing. So and so I'm going to skip to this step, and this is part of the step for your Facebook grand opening, but just any time somebody has been following your page, and Karen will talk more about, this with talking about the 3, 3, and 3, but as we're sharing more on our page, people can see our story, other transformation stories, things relating to health, then they will, eventually you'll start to get people reaching out to you and saying, what are you doing? I want to learn more. Or, okay, tell me about this thing that you're doing. Like, I'm curious. And so the best thing to do when that happens is first, don't tell them everything like on their, replying to that post or that comment on your post. Instead, just reply to their comment and just say something like, Susie, I will send you a private message. Tag their name. Sometimes they don't see it otherwise. And if you, for example, share a before and after post, whether it be your own or a different one, a transformation story, and you have people saying, what is this? Like, tell me more, I'm interested. Or like, oh, I need to do this or something. Then that's the great time to, if it's my own post, then I like to say, thanks so-and-so, I will send you a private message. Anyway, and the more, like we said, comments and likes you get, it keeps it at the top of the newsfeed so more people see it. So that's the first step, is just to do a quick comment like, I'll send you a private message. And then the second step is to actually message them and to say something relatable, like how it says, just dropping the kids off at practice, or just headed to a meeting, or something, something that's true to your life and relatable. Here's what's your best number, and then move it to the phone. So that's one of the important things that I've learned over time, is the more that you try to share, just try to avoid the trap of trying to share everything on Messenger and saying, oh my gosh, I lost all this weight and this is exactly how it works and blah, 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 because there's so much in your voice and you're excited as you're sharing that is missed when they're just reading it over a Facebook message or a text message or something. So we want to get them on the phone so that we can share with them our excitement. They can hear that in our voice. Something that is important, and I've just learned that the more just like brief you keep it, the better. And I've heard from the best that they don't give any information until they get on the phone. And so one trick that has helped me is, or one tip, if there's a couple different things, sometimes people will be like, oh, great, here's my number. And then you can just say, okay, awesome. I'm free tomorrow at blank, does that work for you, or something, and try to set something up. And another alternative is sometimes you'll get people who are like, well, can you just give me more info? And they're a little hesitant to get on the phone. That, requires a little bit more commitment on their part, a little bit more vulnerability. They've been interested enough in what you're sharing that they have reached out and they want to know what you're doing. But sometimes they're not quite ready or quite brave enough to hop on the phone. And so instead of panicking and then telling them everything, one thing that I like to do, let's see, I don't have the chat up. I saw somebody commented, so I'll try to, okay, thanks, Vicki. Good things to remember. And then, okay, so one thing that I do, if they're like trying to get more information and they aren't really like quick to giving me their number or hopping on the phone. This, by the way, is one of the best ways that I found to get somebody's phone number, is just saying, here's my number, what's yours? And that works really well. But if that isn't an instant response, then one thing that I like to do is, and I like to say, and I kind of wrote this down. There's so much on my screen right now, I can't see it very well. Basically, I like to say, sorry, one second. Okay, so then if they're asking for more information, they're kind of fishing, they don't quite want to get on the phone yet, I keep it really simple and I just say, it's awesome. It's a combination of private coaching, an educational system called the Habits of Health, and then customized simplified nutrition. And then you can say, are you asking for you or someone else? Because we don't want to necessarily assume. It's a good segue. And then if they say, oh, I'm asking for me or whatever, then you can say, well, if you'd like me to get a specific idea of how this could work for you, let me know when you've got 15 minutes and I'll do a quick health profile so I can explain a possible customized program, pricing, and timeline for you. I'm free blank and would love chat. So that's something that I have kind of saved in my resources in a document that I could just easily access, so I don't have to necessarily remember it all. I could even copy and paste it. And usually it's a great way. Hold on one second. I'm just going to stop my dishwasher. Okay. I feel like it's super loud. Okay. The worst. We're getting a new one for Christmas. Yay. But anyway, so what was I saying? Okay, I just had this conversation yesterday with someone who was asking me about the program, but not quite giving their phone number yet. And, just giving them that little bit of information, like, hey, this is a health program, and it's these, basic things. I'd love to tell you more, in the best way, is to get more specifics for you is to get on the phone and do a quick health assessment. And that usually then takes it to the phone. This person that I talked to yesterday was like, okay. And then she said, well, maybe I have time on Monday, And so I feel like that's a good way to go about it. Sometimes when you message them, after they've asked, they don't respond at all. And I like giving you these scenarios because they will happen. It's not always, perfect scenario. So what I have found is sometimes people don't respond because they forget. Read your message, they're in the middle of something and they're just busy. And so it's okay. We're not bugging people to message them again. So what I will normally do is I'll just say, what's it called? If I don't hear back from them, I'll probably give it a day or two, and then just enough time so that, I'm not like pouncing, but I'm also, not so long that they're kind of forgetting about it. And I'll just reach out again and I'll just say, hey, I just wanted to make sure that I followed up and, see if you found a good time for us to connect, basically. And often you'll have someone say, oh yeah, I totally meant to get back to you. Sorry, thanks for reaching out. And so that's a good thing to remember, is that, sometimes they just need that reminder. And as professionals, that's what we're doing. We're following up with them. And that's what people do, professionals. So I like that. And another thing, oh, good. Another thing that Karen mentioned in the chat is if they don't want to get on the phone, they might not be ready for the program. And that's totally true. So sometimes people aren't committed because they, as much as people say, oh, I'm not looking for a quick fix, I'm looking for something real. Sometimes if it involves time or effort, then they really aren't ready for that. And they have to be at that point. And honestly, when they're at that point, when they're like, I need to make a change, even if it means getting out of my comfort zone, being vulnerable, talking to somebody on the phone, which nowadays it's funny to me that that's like uncomfortable for people nowadays, but it is because we just don't talk on the phone as much. And that's one thing I actually have enjoyed doing more since coaching, because you really do build connections better that way. Anyway, so once they're at that point and they're ready, they're going to push themselves out of their comfort zones. They're going to set up that time with you and get on the phone. That's the next step is number 3, then do a health assessment. Once you've set up that time with them, that's going to be the best way for you to get the specific information that they need. So yeah, a lot of people will ask questions. Well, tell me about the price. Tell me about this. And they want to know the information before hopping on the phone with you to do a health assessment. But one thing that I love that they say in our Trilogy presentations is, as coaches, we want to explain the why, or we want to get to the why before we get to the how. So we talk to them about what they want, their goals, their dreams, and their reasons, their whys for health, before we show them how we can make that possible. So that health assessment is so important. And then another thing to remember with Facebook is not to ignore the likes. So there's a lot of times when people, will like your post and they won't necessarily, comment. And a lot of times it's because commenting, it takes a little more time and effort. It takes a little more vulnerability. Anyway, so it's okay if not everybody's commenting. I used to think, oh no, I'm posting things on Facebook and nobody's commenting. And it's okay. Like I actually realized over time that so many more people were seeing my posts and being affected by them than I realized. Like I said, over time, I've had a lot of people actually say to me positive things about the things that I posted, like how they love seeing the transformation stories, or I've even had people say, I never comment, but I'm always watching, like I always like it, and they thank me for my positive Facebook page and the things that I post, and it's just it's cool to see the effect that it does have on people, which is good. It helps me to not be afraid to share, because I know I'm just sharing good things. So that's another thing to remember, is to reach out to people potentially who are liking your posts, and this kind of goes over some examples of what you can do. So, you can say, reach out to someone and say, thank you so much for supporting me. Like, it's hard to be vulnerable sometimes and post things about myself and my story, my health. I really appreciate the support. And then you can also say, I've had a few spots open up for me to really invest in, some new clients. And if you know anyone looking to get healthier, lose weight, come off medications, want somebody to show them step-by-step how to do it and to work with them, mind sending off my info? I'd appreciate it. And so then, they respond like, sure, happy to help, type of a thing. And then, that's when you could say, hey, you're the best. And this is the scary part for me, but I'm working on it. At that point, one of the best things you can do, instead of just ending it there, because, they're nice people, but they probably won't remember beyond that. But to actually try to, again, take it to the phone and say, can I give you a quick call? Maybe early next week to remind you what I do, tell you what, to share with them. And then, just along with this, awesome, shoot me your number and we'll connect. And then just saying, yeah, I appreciate you. But moving it to the phone and getting the word out script, and that, I won't go into that, but it's a great way just to quickly give some information on the phone and stay connected who could potentially use this program for themselves or know other people who, they can pass your information along to. If they are interested for themselves, then again, set up a time for health assessment. And then there's some things we can send them, if not, just to stay connected and have some good information to share. So that is the basics of what I was going to go over. Is there anything else anyone wanted to add?
I thought you did an amazing job, Cheryl. Thank you so much for giving us all that information. It's so true that it's important to move it to the phone. And I love the wording that you gave us. Maybe you can type that up and put it in our Hope on Fire chat thread so we can copy it and paste it onto our Google Doc of our own to make sure we've got that ready to send out to people when those things happen. I love that we have all of this in Simple Systems. And again, yeah, make sure that you're familiar with Simple Systems, that you know what that doc is. Talk to your coach about it if you have questions. But it's amazing, and it has pretty much most everything that we need to know as coaches, all the resources for helping us. So I love that. Did anybody have anything else that they wanted to add? Are we ready to move on to Karen? We're excited for Karen. Karen, you're on, right? There you are. Now I can see you.
Yes.
Cheryl, do you want to stop sharing your screen? So then we can, there we go. Awesome. So yeah, we're going to have Karen continue to teach us about Facebook and besides the responding to posts that you do, like Cheryl just taught us about, and that kind of interest that you get. Karen's going to talk to us about the magic of something called 3, 3, and 3 that helps us a lot to get the word out more and to be more of a presence. So go ahead, Karen.
Okay, so this is kind of magic, and sometimes when you do the 3, which I'll explain here in a second, for a while you're thinking, it's not working, nobody's listening, nobody cares, and then I will get a message that says, I haven't been posting, I haven't been commenting, but I've been watching your posts. So just know that even if people aren't even liking or commenting, they're watching, and when they are ready in their heart and mind, they will contact you. So I just wanted to start with that. So 3, 3, and just the 3 things you can do, which are technically 9 things each day, to get your business moving. And this is a great way to just something very simple. It doesn't have to take forever, but it really is a good way to get the word out on Facebook. First one is 3 new friends. And basically, when you are on Facebook, you can go to the suggestion section of your friends, and you may only have a few, but you know what? You need to start looking at your sphere of influence, and that's basically where do you know people from high school, from church, from going to the gym, from doing service projects, from the maybe your kids, maybe you're a PTO, whatever they call it, at school. And so as you meet people, you can say, hey, I'd love to connect with you on Facebook. Can we find your name on my phone, and you can friend me, and then I'll friend you and request your friendship, or do it on their phone. So that way they have to say, yes, I accept your request. But I don't necessarily always have the opportunity to speak to 3 in person each day. So I find different things ways that I can make friends with people on Facebook. Just how, the past couple days, somebody, you make a comment and somebody agrees with you on somebody else's post and you don't know them. You could say, oh, that's such an awesome way to think of that. Or I really appreciate your perspective. I'd love to be Facebook friends with you. And then they're like, sure. So that's a great way to make a Facebook friend. A lot of times I even look on the suggestions and I'll see, hey, we have like 50 some odd mutual friends. Can we connect on Facebook? There's got to be a reason why we have so many mutual friends, and you can connect that way. So just basically finding 3 new friends you can make each day. And I will tell you that I push the 3 new friends each day. It doesn't mean that they're all going to accept. And so it's okay. It's okay if they don't accept your friendship. But basically looking for ways that you can make new friends on Facebook. And that means living out loud. That means talking to people in the grocery store. You could see somebody with like a bunch of fresh vegetables in their shopping cart and go, oh, what are you making? That looks like you're really choosing a lot of healthy vegetables. Do you have any nice recipes that you like to use with those vegetables? They're like, yeah, I do this. Oh, well, I'd love to friend you on Facebook. Could you, could I look you up right now? And it's just a great way to introduce yourself and start making friends with perfect strangers, really. You can do it at your kids' ballet class or their volleyball games or baseball. In my case, my son's baseball game, I've connected with people. And so there's definitely lots of different places that you can just say, hey, it's been so nice to meet you and talk with you. I'd love to reconnect again, and or just stay in contact with each other through Facebook. Are you on Facebook? And then add them right then and there. So there's a lot of different ways you can add 3 new friends each day. Then the second part of 3, 3, and 3 is 3 posts. So you can, Vicky's telling me, good to remind them in Facebook Messenger how you know them. So once you become friends, this is great. I forgot about this. Thanks, Vicky. Once you do meet up with them and then go on Facebook, then private message them and say, hey, it was so nice to meet you at our daughter's ballet class. I'm so glad we got a chance to meet. And just so basically what then happens is it reminds you of how you know that person. And later on, when that person comes back up into your life, you're not going, wait, where did I meet that lady? Or where did I meet him? So that's a great way to remember. Thanks, Vicki. Okay, anyway, so three posts. So basically on the 3 posts, it's doing on your page, your profile page, you want to put 3 different posts during the day of different things that you're doing. Now, sometimes, like, I've determined myself that I like to put a transformation as one of my posts each day. When I first started, I didn't do that, but I found that that's just generally a lot of interest and people are constantly liking those because they're really neat stories. And so I like to put a transformation, but you don't have to. The idea of posting on Facebook is to get your presence on there. And basically so it's adding value to someone's life. And this is actually a really good way to kind of start. If you don't feel like you can do 3 posts a day at first, you know what? I didn't either, and that's okay. So I didn't write this list down, but maybe we can put it in Hope on Fire. Monday, I do Monday motivation. So a motivational quote, something that helps me to feel motivated to be healthy or to feel motivated to do exercise. So Monday motivation. Tuesday, I did Tuesday transformation. And so sometimes you'll see that Tuesday. So I put something on there for, I'll put a post of someone's healthy transformation. Wednesday, there's a lot of different things. Wednesday wellness, water Wednesday. Alina did Wowza Wednesday. So there's a lot of different ones you can do. And obviously we're kind of working with the letters here. I can't think of that word. It doesn't matter. Anyway, sometimes I do Thursday thoughts, things that I'm thinking about, things that I've learned. And then I share that as something I've learned that day. Friday, I like to do Food Friday. Saturday can be Sweaty Saturday. So maybe it's something about exercise, or Sweet Saturday. You come up with your own in those cases. And then Sunday, I like to do Spiritual Sunday. So I like to do a quote that has more of a spirit background. But also if you're really wanting to try and do 3 posts, I kind of came up with the 3 Ps: your passion, your pain, and maybe your projects. So your passion, we're trying to get healthy here. So maybe your passion for the day is something about health, something that you've learned, something that you want to do, something that you're working on, a goal that you have. But it also could be family is your passion. Maybe you love certain, maybe you just love I don't know, for me, I would say crocheting. So I could put something like that on there, or something to that effect. And then pain. So sometimes it would be real on Facebook. We don't necessarily always want to look like we are, our life is perfect, because that's not how, it's not reality. And people want, I think one of the main things that I've noticed about people that have watched my story is that they will say, well, Karen, and she is a normal person. She doesn't have superpowers, but she lost 75 pounds. So maybe I can too. And that's a result of looking and showing people that I am just as normal as they are. So, you know, on Thanksgiving, I fell flat on my face and scraped myself all up. Well, I shared that on Facebook. And, you know, of course, I'm not necessarily looking for lots of, you know, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you, but just to be real, just to show people that, you know what, I'm certainly not perfect. But I try, and I try to be better each day. And then I chose the last one. So your projects. So maybe some things that you're working on. We're going to say projects could be your goals, things that you want to do. Maybe it's even an actual project you're working on. I've seen some people post that they're remodeling their home, or, you know, people posted about something they're doing for for Christmas, and somebody else posted about their Christmas tree. So projects they're working on. Liz mentioned what are you making for dinner, and sharing that recipe. So those are all things you could do as far as projects go. So make sure you're adding things that allow people to see you as, someone put cleaning out your closet. I need to do that too. So just doing things that will help add value to someone's life. When they look on your page, they're thinking, oh, this lady has so much, like, oh, this is awesome. The things that she shares and the information that she has, it's awesome. And so you're adding value to them. The last part of the 3, 3, and 3 is our conversation. So you want to start 3 conversations with people. And again, this can actually start from outside of Facebook, and then bring it to Facebook. You're messaging them. But also another great way, if you really want to get 3 conversations in very, very quickly, is go to your events page and for the birthdays, and just private message someone happy birthday. Instead of writing it directly on their page with the 500 other people that wrote happy birthday, you will just be able to put happy birthday into the Facebook Messenger, and many times start a conversation that way. And then the only other way for starting, well, not necessarily only other way, but another good way for starting a Facebook Messenger message is by commenting on someone's post on Facebook and then messaging them. Hey, I noticed that you just had a baby, or that that family picture you just posted is so amazing. It's so beautiful. And that way you are getting the information, you know, you're finding out about them. Sometimes it could even be, hey, I haven't seen you since high school. What have you been up to? So keep the conversation going, and again, building relationships like Alina mentioned in the very beginning. The last is, if you are friends with any of the coaches on here, or even if you're not, you can start following people and find out what they're posting, and then save those posts on Facebook. So you would just like go to the top right. I think there's 3 dots, and you click save, and then you can actually put to different groups. So I have one that says transformations. I have another one that says recipes. I have another one that says learning. And those are just my categories, but you can create your own. That way, when you go to post those 3 posts that I mentioned, you would be able to then go ahead and click on one of those saved posts to get your information. So you're not having to come up with all of this information yourself. So hopefully that gave you some good ideas, and I'm going to turn it over to Alina.
Thank you, Karen. You did awesome. Both you and Cheryl, thank you very, very much. I just love that we can help each other and, you know, learn from what we've experienced and pass on our knowledge to others, and just help each other as a team, as a group. And I love that. Thanks so much for sharing about the 3, 3, and 3. That really gave us a lot of good ideas for specific things we can do to take action, right? sometimes we say, yeah, I think I want to shoot for this goal. I think I want to help this many people. I think I want to, how do I let people know what I'm doing? And the 3, 3, and 3 is a great way to be able to have specific action steps like Karen was teaching us about. So you can, watch the recording back if you want to be reminded on what specific things you can do for the 3, 3, and 3. But if you set that as a goal for every day, like that's going to grow your business huge. If that seems a little intimidating, you can do a 1, 1, and 1, or a 2, 2, and 2. Or some days you do a 3, 2, and 1, or whatever it is. You might post on Facebook a little less some days, or you might talk or add, new friends, make new friends a little less certain days, just depending on what's going on in your life. And that's okay. If we shoot for big goals, then even if we get there halfway, it was more than what we would have if we hadn't made the goal, right? So we're here to support you as a team. I love that we can do that and support each other. And thank you so much again. Does anyone have a question to ask about anything or something else that they wanted to add? We have about 1 minute left.
Thank you. And if there are other questions and things that are on your mind that you would like some more training on, just please put it up there or message one of us so that we know and we can keep these trainings going, especially, while we have this little bit of a break with some of our other mentors. So please, questions that come up, ask them. We love questions. We love them. So send us your questions and things that you would like to know about, and we will make sure that we cover them. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks so much. You guys are amazing. Go out there and keep rocking it. Love ya.